This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN.Network. And joining me right now is Dr. Ralph Highnam. He is the CEO and Chief Scientific Officer at Volpara Health Technologies. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is VHT on the ASX. Dr. Highnam, thank you for joining me today. How are you doing?
Good, Robert. Good to be here.
It's great to have you. And we figured out our time difference. So, we worked it out. So I appreciate it because you're coming to us from New Zealand, right?
I'm coming from COVID-free New Zealand. Yep. So we have 0 cases here. I'm actually in the office. The office is full today, and it's really buzzing, and it's a great place to be.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm really happy to hear that. I'm getting my plane ticket right now. Let's just put it like that. So this is your first time that we've had you on here before. You did just participate in our August event where you were on the panel with Mark Tobin about ASX listed companies with operations in the US. So let's start there. Let's get a quick overview and history of the company, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, so Robert, I've been doing breast imaging for the best part of 30 years now. I did my PhD at the University of Oxford. I moved to New Zealand in 2003 after selling my previous company. In 2009, we sat down and realised all the hard science work we did in the PhD, the clinical world was now ready for it. And it was time, and women were basically crying out for this information, especially in the US. So we said, okay, we need to go back, dig up all the AI we did, bring it up to modern standards, start analysing mammograms and providing this important breast health information to women, namely what their breast composition is, what their breast density is, which is a very strong risk factor.
Very good. So what would you say is the service itself that you're out there selling to your target market?
Yeah, so we are a software as a service company, and our software then is AI. The X-rays come to us from any X-ray machine. We analyze it and we provide quantitative scores back around the breast density, the breast cancer risk, the quality of the image, the amount of breast compression, the radiation dose, and so on. All those services let the breast imaging providers in the US create a much more comfortable, safer, more accurate exam. And that all leads to earlier breast cancer detection, which is really the big mission of our company, which is to prevent advanced stage breast cancer. And the key way of doing that is early detection. And AI and X-rays are the key way forward in that space.
Some investors listening might think, or anybody watching might think to themselves, well, why don't they just get better machines, for the imaging? But what you guys are doing makes a lot of sense, because not only are you trying to provide a better software in order to read the data that's available, but I'm sure you're coming up with new solutions as new machines get approved in all the various markets globally.
Yep, we are always tracking new X-ray machines, but in some ways those machines have started to kind of reach their limitation, and really now it's about software coming in to really make the most of those images, or to make sure the images are optimal to start with, but then to go into those images and generate quantitative numbers. Humans are great at doing subjective things and saying that's an A or a B or a C or a D. But when it comes to hard quantitative assessment of images over millions and millions of cases, that's where you need machines, that's where you need AI, and that's really what our core competencies are.
Yeah, it's nice to have computing power in that sense, of course. So then, I'm assuming there's competition out there. So, what would you say makes your company and your solutions, your software, unique and different compared to your peers out there?
Yeah, we cover now, Robert, about 27% of the US market. So just over 10 million women a year get screened using our software. And we've got a big foothold, obviously, Australia and New Zealand down here now. The key to a lot of what we do is science, and we're heavily published, so hundreds and hundreds of publications around what we do, and most of those are independent publications as well. Which means we tend to get trusted, which is a great place to be. But then if you look at what we provide, the services we provide, we're the only company out there with a complete, what we call a platform. So right from patient tracking through to breast density assessment, real-time quality control, and enterprise-wide quality systems. We're the only company that can provide the whole product suite. And the key element there is all these products are great individually, but if you can get them talking to each other, they're much, much, much more powerful. So that is really what gives us our competitive edge.
So tell us a little bit about the size of the total addressable market. You said in the US alone, you cover about 27% of the screens that happen. I think you said about 10 million images per year, is it? Or just just to date?
No, we help screen in 10 million women each year. So each year, there's 40 million women get screened, and globally it's about double that. We believe we can get around $10 per screen if people buy our whole platform. So it is a very, very big market, and it's all annual recurring revenue as well, since we're a SaaS company. Right. So we're targeting a market of it's around $750 million a year. We're up to an ARR now of about 20 million New Zealand dollars, which is around the 13, 14 US kind of mark, depending on where the exchange rate is. And it kind of shows, we've got a long way to go still. We've got a lot of growth ahead of us. Most of those 10 million women only get one of our products. And then now it's our job to pull through all the products, the complete platform, to ensure all those women get the benefit of all the products.
Got it. And at the outset of this interview, you've mentioned a little bit about your background. What did you get your PhD in specifically?
Yeah, my PhD, I was very good at maths. I never knew quite what I wanted to do when I was a kid, probably like you and most other people, but I knew I was good at maths, so I ended up doing a maths degree. Then I thought computers were interesting, so I did a computing degree. Then I started looking at PhD because I really didn't know what I wanted to do for a job. I didn't realize until then that I was a researcher and entrepreneur, but that kind of dawned on me. So I started talking around about what PhD to do. I met this guy called Professor Sir Mike Brady in Oxford, and he talked a lot about, the big thing back then was autonomous robotic vehicles running around warehouses. Boring, absolutely boring. So I said,
terribly boring.
Not going to do that, I said. And then he started talking about medical imaging, and he started talking about his mother-in-law who just died of breast cancer, and how breast cancer screening clearly works, but there's ways to improve it. And that really got my attention, using my math skills, the computing skills, the engineering skills I've got to actually help people, but also help people also learn not just maths equations, but learn about the body, learn about breast cancer, learn about biology, pathology, genetics. So as soon as he said it, to me, it was like, that's it. This is my area, and this is what I'm going to dedicate my life to. So that's what I've been doing really for the last 30 years now.
Fantastic. All right. So to close this out, from what you can tell us, what would you say are some of the company's value catalysts and really tailwinds for the business for the rest of this year going into 2021?
Yeah, there's a big trend. As I just said, breast cancer screening clearly works. It reduces mortality anywhere between 20 and 40%, depending on the study, which is great. But there's lots of ways to optimize it, and people are realizing now the way to optimize it is by personalizing it. And to personalize it, you need to know certain information about the woman's breast, such as her breast density and so on. So the big tailwind really is that push to personalization, the push to optimize screening, to not only kind of control cost, but also to actually improve performance by focusing imaging and money onto those women that really need it. So that's kind of that's the big tailwind that we're swimming on at the moment, and with our integrated platform, we're in a really good position to go on and have a strong year.
Very good. And where can our audience go and find everything they need to know to follow along the Volpara story?
Yep. So if you go to volparasolutions.com, you will find all our story. And obviously, we're very active on social media and elsewhere as well.
Very good. Well, Dr. Highnam, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Good luck. Stay safe. And I look forward to our next update.
Cool. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.